Hello and welcome to a setup guide for GitHub and MATLAB for ENCMP100. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of setting everything up that you need to create, update, and upload your MATLAB code to GitHub. If you're looking for how to submit your work, please watch the follow-up video. So we'll start off by making a GitHub account with your university email. Git offers many features for software development that you can read about here, but we will mainly be using GitHub for the distributed repositories. A repository is just a location where all your files for a certain project are kept. By using a distributed system, GitHub allows you to work on those files for multiple computers and with other people. Now that we have a GitHub account, the next step is to download GitHub Desktop. Once it is done downloading the installer, it should set everything up automatically by running it. Next, we are going to grab MATLAB from the university's website on the hub, which also has a bunch of other software you might want. You can find MATLAB under the Mathematics tab. It'll ask you to log into your BearTracks account and guide you through the download process. Once it's done downloading, run the MATLAB installer. First it'll go through this unzip process. And then ask you to make the final installation. Now it will ask you for your MathWorks account that you should have created during your download process. It should automatically detect your license number, but if it does not, you can go to your On the Hub account under Your Account/Orders and click View Details on your MATLAB purchase. You should be able to get the activation code here, along with more detailed installation instructions if that does not work. After that, all of your default settings should be fine. Continue through with the default settings to start the installation. That installation will probably take a little bit, so while that's going on, we can get back to the GitHub desktop application. You can sign in by going to File, Options, and sign in here. Now we need to create a repository by clicking File, New Repository. Let's name it Hello World and give it a quick description. This repository will be stored on your computer in the given location, and I would recommend making it easy to remember and access because we will need it later. Now we can create the local repository. Local meaning it only exists on your computer. In order to put it on GitHub, we need to click Publish Repository. Make sure to tick the Keep this code private box so that only you and people you invite can see it. Hopefully MATLAB is done by now, because the next step is to launch MATLAB and to find the local repository you just created. So mine was on my D drive under GitHub stuff, and right there is the Hello World repository we created. Notice inside the repository there's already two things, a .git folder and a .git attributes file. These are created by Git and used to store all the necessary information about your repository. They are updated automatically by GitHub Desktop, so we don't need to worry about them. Once you're inside that directory, you can right-click and select New Script. And let's call it Hello World. If we double-click on that, we can open it in the editor and put in fprintf bracket quote hello world \n quote close bracket, and now if we run it, it will print hello world to the command window. One thing to note while we're at this stage is that over in the directory you can see that there's a Git column. MATLAB can show you the status of your files in relation to your repository. A green circle meaning that it's up to date, a white circle meaning it's a new file, and a blue square meaning that you've changed something in the file but have not yet committed it. So if we save that and go back to our GitHub desktop app, we can see it's already recognized the changes we've made. To accept this change into your repository, we need to click on Commit to Master. Now we've updated your local repository, but not the one online on GitHub. Notice also that in the background, that indicator for the Hello World file changed to green because we committed it to our repository. If you want to make your changes available online, you need to click on Push Origin. This will update the online repository to all the changes you've made on your local one. Now if I go online to GitHub, we can see our repository and the new file I created. Now that you have everything set up, I'll do a quick recap of how to use it. So if you want to create a new project, the first step is to launch GitHub Desktop and create a new repository. Step 2 is to find that repository in MATLAB. Step 3 is to create new MATLAB files. And do any changes that you want. When you're done with your changes, save them in MATLAB and commit them to your local repository in GitHub Desktop. Now you've created a new project on GitHub Desktop on your machine. If you want to upload that repository to GitHub, you need to go and click Publish Repository. Make sure to have the box Keep this code private ticked. And you successfully created a project and uploaded it to GitHub. You can double check this by going to your GitHub account and looking at the repository. So what if you want to update a repository that you already published to GitHub? The first step is to launch GitHub Desktop, find the repository you want to update. If the one online is more updated than the one on your machine, you can update the one on your machine by clicking Fetch Origin. Once you have the most up-to-date version, you can locate the repository in MATLAB. Edit the files you want to. Once you've made the changes you want to, you can save them in MATLAB, commit them in GitHub Desktop to update your local repository, and when you're ready to publish your changes online, you can click Push Origin to update the online repository on GitHub. You've now made changes to the online repository, and you can check them by going to GitHub and looking at your files. You should now have everything you need to start working on MATLAB projects. When you're ready to hand them in, be sure to watch the follow-up tutorial. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.